The episode begins as we see Heron and his companion traveling just to arrive at their destination. Heron finds out that someone has stolen all the adamantine. Just then they heard a loud voice screaming for help. Heron's friends then decide to go help the villagers. However, Heron decides not to, as some of these villagers nearly sexually abuse his mother. Heron's friends are more concerned about the women and the children, as the Kirs will kill them all if they leave. He then changed his mind as he proceeded to go help them all. Meanwhile, as they got to the village, they found a cave where a woman walked out from. At first, they prepared to fight, but just then, Heron recognized the lady as he runs toward her, but it was too late as she's on her way to death. They go inside to explore the cave, just to find blood and hundreds of Kirs inside the cave, just feeding on human flesh. The Kirs attack them, but it's too dark for Heron and his companion to fight or see them. However, they begin fighting back by tracking the Kirs with glowing eyes to fight back. Heron goes crazy by this as he began releasing his lightning, killing all Kirs. However, one of the Kirs is seriously injured, but as they tried finishing it off, Heron stopped his friend. He then went on telling it that the eater of the dead Kirs will have to honor Zeus's decree. And if they don't, Heron, the son of Zeus, will hunt them down and kill each and every one of them. They mourn those who passed away and also giving them pass to the other world. Just then the whole villagers approach Heron, as most of them are still alive. Just then, Heron began having flashback of what the villagers and the village leader did to him and his mother. A little girl then gave Heron a flower, which he accepted. Although they thanked Heron for his deed, but he then told the village leader that he didn't do it for him or them to bury the dead properly, and they should remember how the man who just saved them was treated while he lived among them. And they should vow never to treat anyone like that again. Heron then asked if they know where his mother was laid to rest, but the leader responded that she wasn't even among those that they buried. They advised him to check a very precious place where they buried fallen heroes, as she might be buried there. Meanwhile, Seraphim is seriously injured from the battle with the giant as he's bleeding too much. Just as he traveled, he then fell off his ride from the sky. Hades then ordered his eagle to go find Seraphim at all costs, as he will not fail his wife. Just then the ground began shaking as a woman then appeared, Persephone's mother. She had asked to know why he, Hades, tried to steal the illegitimate stone, even though he told the others that he wished to remain neutral. However, she knows all this because she has many spies around the kingdom, and she insisted that he doesn't even lie. Just then, Hades demanded to know what she wanted. She says she has always wanted what is best for her daughter, and she wonders if she should just bury Hades onto the ground that she just opened. Hades replied that the action will simply make her own daughter a widow. However, this will hurt her daughter, Persephone, and this is the only reason she will try to help him out, but under one condition, which is they'd all rule together after they retrieve the stone, that Hades, Persephone, and her would rule the kingdom as a triumvirate. Immediately, the scene then switches to Heron still traveling. Just as they do so, they then found Seraphim's body lying lifelessly on the floor. They go to help him as they found out that he's still alive. Heron uses his power to help out, and he then regained consciousness. They asked him what happened, but it seems they don't recognize Seraphim in this human form, as they don't know who he was. Heron goes to the temple to go pay his respect. Meanwhile, Seraphim is now awake as he can now walk. He then hid while also spying on Heron to assassinate him. Just as he tried killing him, he then noticed a symbol as he purses to listen to what Heron was saying. Heron then said he could have tried harder to convince Seraphim to lay down his sword, as what he saw then was the man who killed his mom. As he also prayed that they help him let go of the harbor he has for Seraphim. Seraphim began having flashback as he leaves Heron, then asks what had happened to him. He explained the battle he had with the giant. They both discussed for a while as they both introduced themselves. However, Seraphim told Heron his name was Icarus. Heron helps Seraphim to find his dead lover, as he apologizes to her, promising her that her pain will end soon. Just then they found out something to help the compass work so it could find the sword. Meanwhile, Seraphim ran, leaving Heron and his friend. Just as he got to his ride, he found out that some poachers were planning to steal it. He killed them all and leaves. Heron and his friend then got a visitation from a goddess named Iris, as she's the messenger of the primordial gods. They'd offer Heron a gift. Hades kept on monitoring Seraphim as he informed him about their plans. Although for their plans to work, Persephone's mom and unleash a parasites, as this parasite takes control of their hosts and reproducing again and again until it finally explodes outward. Hades is not happy about this, her plan, as she told him that all greater things come with cost. Heron, still traveling, then saw the parasite, which his compass also pointed to the direction. They found a big ship, and something very large began attacking the ship. Heron also began fighting alongside his friends. Alexia goes into the giant head and found Heron's sword inside. After a long and extended battle, Heron and his friends then came out victorious. It handed him the sword as he embraced it. Meanwhile, Heron figured out that Icarus was his brother Seraphim. They also found out that he is working for Hades and are surprised as they believe he's after the stone. They plan to stop Seraphim, so they continue their journey again. Just as Heron brother see the parasites toward a certain village, he ran toward it only to be infected by it as he then passed out. Seraphim goes into the underworld with some assistance from Hades to help eliminate the security guards as Seraphim poisoned their water. However, he was then given a free pass to the gate. In the next scene, Seraphim enters the hidden realm and has to face 3 trials. Gaia intercepts him, but since he is trying to save an innocent, she gives him a chance to pick any moment from his past and change it. He can run away with Gorgo like he said he would, or even go further back and kill his uncle before he is abandoned. But he realizes it is the first trial as a ruler of heaven is wise enough to know that the past cannot be changed. She disappears and a dragon attacks him. He kills it and passes the first challenge. Inside, Seraphim faces off against the Sphinx. She tells him to open a box and face his greatest fear if he wants to pass. He's cocky as he reveals he has nothing to fear as the fates have taken away everything he loved. He opens the box to find it empty and the Sphinx lets him pass, but it is a trick as his fear is failing his loved ones. For his lies, she traps him in a maze. Meanwhile, Hades tells him to hurry as he has company. Heron, Alexia, and Coffee reach the Hidden Realm's entrance and face the Koruts, the guards who stand down on seeing that Heron has Zeus' ring. He immediately asked if anyone has entered and Seraphim's trick works as the guards share that nobody has entered, but just then, Coffee sees Seraphim's footsteps. Although Heron then tried to pass, but the guards reveal only giants and Zeus can pass. He tries to enter by force but finds a lock in the shape of his ring. He fits the ring and the door opens for him. He rushes to the Sphinx who asks him the same question and he claims his worst fear is not dying well. He opens the box and sees that along with that fear is that in succumbing to his anger and throwing the sword is the catalyst of his mother dying, the giants attacking, and Zeus dying. Had he kept the sword and killed Seraphim when he first invaded his village, none of it would have probably happened. But the Sphinx lets him pass through the maze. While Seraphim is stuck, however, Heron cuts through the maze with the sword directly to the eagle with the Eleusinian stone. We then see as Gaia arrives and says while she has faith in him, the biggest trial is him forgiving himself. But if he cannot, the prophesied one to save everyone just may end up being Seraphim, and it cuts to him arriving as well. Just then, Seraphim says he needs to save Gordo and attacks the eagle. Heron tries to stop him, but it just injures the eagle who crashes outside the realm. The goddess hold Persephone hostage and arrive at the entrance of the hidden realm. At the same time, Ares and his cohorts arrive while Hades and Demeter show up to help Seraphim. On seeing the stone outside, all 3 groups get ready to attack. Hera arrives and tries to stop them, but they don't listen. It is chaos as the stone keeps passing hands. At one point, Heron saves Seraphim, and then Seraphim returns the favor. Finally, Heron gets his hands on the stone and goes berserk. A possessed Heron spots Hera and Seraphim, tells him to avenge their mother. Heron also thinks that Hera is the one who cut his string of fate, but he suddenly remembers Gaia's words and forgives her. In the spirit of making up, Hades gives Seraphim the water of Lethe for Gorgo. But when Heron tells him it is time to go back to the underworld, he changes his mind and stabs him to death. Hades grabs the Eleusinian stone for Persephone, but a furious Gaia unleashes her wrath. With Zeus, Hera, and Hades constantly causing chaos, she declares that the reign of gods is over and it is time for the Titans to return. She speaks the beast's name, Typhon, and he is unleashed from the stone at the end of Blood of Zeus Season 2. The show then came to an end.